Good morning, good afternoon, maybe it's good evening. What's happening, folks? Okay, so what do you say if you don't want to eat some food? Like, you might be at work or something and someone offers you food. How can you politely decline that food? What are some phrases that you can say or some excuses that you can use when you don't want to eat some food? Because this is a big thing that happens a lot. For the last couple of months, I've been losing weight. I've been on a strict diet. I've been really trying to focus on dropping weight, get healthy, get back into swimming and everything. And every now and again, someone at work offers me something. But I always politely decline. And eventually they got the message to just not offer me something, which I'm very happy about. Because sometimes I want to give in to temptation, but I'm pretty good. I have a lot of willpower these days. But do you? And do you know what you can say in order to politely decline food? Well, this podcast is just going to be a very vocabulary heavy podcast. And we're just going to go through like different phrases that we can use when we don't want to eat food and when we want to politely decline food. And some of them won't be very polite, of course. And I mean, the very first one is, sorry, I'm not allowed to eat. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, sorry, I'm not allowed to eat nuts. Sorry, I'm not allowed to eat carbs. Carbs is short for carbohydrates. Sorry, I'm not allowed to eat that. I would if I could, but unfortunately I can't. You could also say, I'm staying away from. Oh, sorry, I'm staying away from dairy. Sorry, I'm staying away from X, Y, or Z. So to stay away from. Now, sometimes a person is going to offer you food that doesn't agree with you. And if something doesn't agree with you, it makes you sick. It makes you feel unwell. It makes you feel queasy. Oh man, that food looks good, but unfortunately my body doesn't agree with spicy food. That's a real one. I'm Irish, and to be honest, I don't eat a lot of spicy food. And so my body doesn't really agree with it. If I eat spicy food, maybe my stomach will feel uneasy. So if you say, my body doesn't agree with blah, 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 it just means that you're not going to feel well if you have it. That's very similar to the phrase that, oh, I ate something that didn't agree with me and I got sick. Maybe you arrived to work and you're feeling under the weather because you ate some food that was gone off. You ate some food that made you a little bit sick. Well, that food didn't agree with you. So there's a good phrase for explaining how food made you feel. Oh, that food didn't agree with me last night. I couldn't sleep. Another thing that you can say would be, I'm watching my figure. That's a kind of old school one maybe. And I would say it humorously to some friends. Oh, I'm watching my figure. I can't eat that. It looks delicious. And your figure is your appearance. So I'm watching my figure. I don't want to gain weight. Oh, that looks delicious, but I can't. Thanks. I really shouldn't, but thanks though. And notice the way I said that. I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't. I'm elongating the really part. I really shouldn't, but thanks though. So I really should not, but thanks though. Like 6 words. Oh, I really shouldn't, but thanks though. A nice way there. Now, someone might come along and offer you food that you don't like. Oh, I'm not really a fan of that, but thanks. I'm not a fan of. I'm not really a fan. We do use really a lot in these cases here. I'm not really a fan of meat, but thanks. I'm not really a fan of mayo, like mayonnaise, but thanks though. Thanks for the offer. Very generous of you. I wish I could, but. Oh man, I wish I could, but unfortunately I'm not hungry. I just ate. I wish I was hungry. Sometimes someone does have food and it's food that you like, but you just ate lunch and you're not hungry. And you can say, God, man, I wish I was hungry because I would totally devour that. I wish I were hungry, but I had a huge breakfast. Oh man, I would, but I don't want to spoil my lunch. I don't want to spoil my dinner. This is a very common one. Write that one down. I don't want to spoil my lunch. I don't want to spoil my dinner. If I eat that, I'm going to spoil my dinner and my wife will kill me. And to spoil your lunch or your dinner means that you're not going to eat it because you won't be hungry. I remember when I was a kid and like maybe I would snack before dinner and my mom would get so pissed off and she'd be like, you're going to spoil your appetite. You're going to spoil your dinner. You're going to spoil your lunch. Fortunately for her, I was a fat bastard of a kid and I never spoiled it. I just overate and got really fat. But hey, that's a story for a different day. Another one. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be good. That's a common one for just saying, look, I'm trying to be good. I'm not going to touch it, but thanks. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to be healthy. Thanks, but no thanks. The most common, or one of. Thanks, but no thanks. So someone comes in, hey, do you want a pizza slice? Oh, thanks, but no thanks. I'm watching my figure. Thanks, but no thanks. I can't eat that food. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm just not hungry right now. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm good. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm following a strict diet. Oh man, my doctor told me to avoid red meat. I wish I could, sorry. I really can't, I'm sorry. I just ate, I'm stuffed. Otherwise, I absolutely would. I was browsing online before I recorded this podcast and I was looking at some blogs for fitness instructors and for people who are like weightlifting, and they'll often like cut weight. Cut weight is when you try to lose weight in a brief amount of time in order to weigh a certain much on a certain day. It's common in like boxing or mixed martial arts or weightlifting, powerlifting kind of thing, where you must weigh a certain amount at a certain time on a certain day. And so if you normally weigh, for example, 200 pounds, but your category for your competition is 195 pounds, you need to cut 5 pounds for a certain time at a certain day. Otherwise you can't compete. And so a lot of people in this or on this blog or who read this blog would have an issue where everyone tries to offer them food when they're working out, but they can't because they have to follow a strict diet because they need to weigh a certain amount at a certain time. And so one thing that they wrote was, I'm currently following a strict diet for my workout program, so my meals need to be planned and calculated ahead of time, but thanks. The but thanks at the end kind of ends any type of conversation that's going to happen, or ends any kind of, say, when a person doesn't accept your answer. I'm currently following a strict diet for my workout program, so my meals need to be planned and calculated ahead of time. Beautiful one right there. Have you ever had to cut weight? Is that something that you do? I don't know. I'm not a weightlifter. I'm not a power lifter. I'm actually hoping to get into it this winter. I have many plans for weightlifting. I kind of lost a lot of weight recently. I still have about 30 pounds to go, but I also want to start lifting weights. And that's why losing weight isn't my goal, being healthy, because muscle weighs more than fat. So I'm excited. But I wonder in the future, maybe I'll do competitions. And if I do, I'll have to cut weight. So I'm following a strict diet for my workout program, blah, 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 blah. You could also say, if I eat that, I won't be feeling well for a long time. Oh man, I don't eat sugar, but thanks. I can't take that. Doctor's orders. And then we're kind of like getting to the point where, you might say you're not eating that and someone keeps bothering you and keeps pushing you or something. And it does get frustrating. Like I've had many situations where when I've been working and I deal with students from a lot of different cultures and everything. And one thing that used to bother me a lot was when some of the students would say, oh, it's very rude if you don't eat this. It's very rude. Well, why is it rude? Why is it rude if I don't eat your food? Is it not more rude for you to push it on me? And they'd say, oh, it's my culture. You have to take it. And sometimes I would, or other times I'd respond, well, it's my culture that you don't push food on someone who doesn't want it. And yeah, kind of led to a bit of a stalemate in that case. A stalemate. Stalemate is when no one is victorious in like a draw or something, and you're both realizing that no one's going to win this situation. A stalemate. I think it's in like chess or something like that. So what do you say when someone keeps pushing you? Well, you can tell them the truth. If I eat that, I'll be gassy all evening. Maybe not the truth, but you say that to someone and yeah, they're going to probably back away. Man, if I eat that, I'll be on the John all evening. Be on the John. And that's be on the toilet. let's be honest, if you say that to a person, they're probably going to understand that you're not going to eat the food. If I eat that, my wife will not sleep a wink. She'll murder me. And that could be read many ways. I'll be farting all night. She's not going to sleep, the poor woman. If I eat that, I'll be up all night. So a few different ways there for talking about how, the bad effects of eating food. Now, if they keep insisting, you could turn around and say, did I fucking stutter? I fucking love that one. But don't say that one. It's really, really bad. Very confrontational. Very, very, very confrontational. I love it though. It's from like those gangster movies. I can't remember who said it. Maybe it's The Sopranos. Maybe it's Godfather or something. But just when you want someone to really pay attention to you, did I fucking stutter? It's so commanding. And a stutter is when you kind of mispronounce words. You don't say words correctly. And if you don't say words correctly, maybe it's not fully understood. But if you turn around and you say to someone, oh no thanks man, I'm good, I'm not going to eat that. Oh please Ronan, just try the food. Did I fucking stutter? Yeah, that's going to end the conversation. You could also just tell a person to fuck off. Like, fuck off Janet, I'm not eating your fucking candy. Thanks. Alright folks, very quick podcast. That's all we're going to talk about in this very short podcast. Different ways to politely decline food and some ways to, well, not politely decline food, but just to make sure people aren't going to offer you some. I sincerely hope this helps you. If you have any requests, go to my website. In the top right corner, there's a little thing that says podcast request. Please go there, type in a request. I'll make a fucking full podcast about it. I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy. And I hope you get to use these phrases. And I hope people actually listen to you when you refuse them. My name is Ronan. This is Little Seal English. Have a great one. Bye for now.